Be me. 25 years old, reflecting on my first real love. I was 18 when I met her, and she was perfect. Her name was Katie, and everything about her drew me in. She was smart, funny, and had this infectious laugh. We were inseparable from the start, always texting, always talking. We spent hours together, sharing our hopes and fears. It felt like everything was falling into place, and I was sure. She was my first love, and I thought we were forever. We talked about our future, about moving in together. I was so caught up in the idea of us. But looking back, I can see the cracks forming. There were little signs that I didn't notice at first. She'd cancel plans without much explanation, always too busy. I'd make excuses for her because I wanted to believe. But over time, she started pulling away more and more. We stopped talking as much, and when we did, it was surface level. I didn't want to admit it, but I knew something was off. One night, we were at a party, and she was distant. She kept checking her phone, and I couldn't ignore it anymore. I asked her what was wrong, but she just brushed it off. "I'm fine, Anon," she said, but I didn't buy it. After that, we started drifting even further apart. She stopped replying to my texts, stopped making plans. It felt like she was pulling away on purpose, and I couldn't understand why. A few weeks later, she ended it, just like that. She told me she wasn't in love with me anymore. My heart shattered, and I couldn't comprehend it. I asked her what happened, what changed, but she didn't have an answer. "I just don't feel the same way, Anon," she said, looking away. I was devastated, but I tried to stay composed. "Is there someone else?" I asked, barely able to breathe. She nodded, her eyes filled with guilt. "I'm sorry, Anon. I never meant to hurt you," she said. I didn't know how to respond, how to fix what was broken. I walked away that night, not knowing how to process everything. The girl I thought was my forever was now gone. She moved on, and I was left picking up the pieces. It was a hard pill to swallow, and I struggled with it. I kept asking myself what went wrong, where I failed. But in the end, I realized it wasn't about me. Katie had changed, and maybe I had too. Our first love didn't end the way I thought it would. But it taught me something valuable. Not all love stories last. It doesn't make them any less real or important. I learned to move on, but I never forgot her. She'll always be my first love, but sometimes that's not enough.